Hello everyone, this is Rupa, working as an assistant professor in Gokaraju Rangaraju Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now I will discuss about data warehouse implementation. Generally, data warehouse contains huge volumes of data. OLAP servers demand that duration support to queries be answered in the order of seconds. The user has to expect in a way as whatever the duration support system has to be available, that will answer the queries within seconds. Therefore, it is very crucial for data warehouse system to support highly efficient data queue computation techniques, access methods, and query processing techniques. Here, we will see the methods for efficient implementation of data warehouse. Here we have a efficient computation of data cube, and second method is indexing OLAP data, and third one is efficient processing of OLAP queries. These are all the methods available for implementation of data warehouse. We will see in detail about each and every method. First we can go for the efficient computation of data cube. Within this efficient computation of data cube, we are using as a compute cube operator, and one more is a materialization. First, we will see about the compute cube operator, how we can use this compute cube operator. Okay, first we need to go for general data cube. Okay, already you know that what is meant by data cube. Okay, it contains multiple number of dimensions has to be available, and cuboids has to be available. The data cube can be viewed as a lattice of cuboids, right? The bottommost cuboid we can call it as a base cuboid, and topmost cuboid we can call it as a apex cuboid. The total number of cuboids or group bys can be computed for a data cube is 2 to the power of n. For example, when we take the dimensions of any of the cube as item, city, and year, that means 3 dimensions has to be available. We can compute the number of cuboids as 2 to the power of n means 2 to the power of 3, that is equal to 8. 8 cuboids has to be available when we have a 3 dimensions. We can write the queries in a way as a compute sum of sales group by city, and even we can compute the sum of sales group by city and item also. Like that we can apply the queries by using this compute cube operator. We will see how we can use this compute cube operator. Okay, the compute cube operator computes overall subsets of a dimension specified in the operation. The possible group bys or cuboids will be the 8, right? Those are city, item, and year that will indicate the base cuboid. Observe this diagram that will indicate the base cuboid, and then we have a city item and city year and item year, and on the one dimension level we have a city item and year has to be available, and we have a empty. This will be the apex cuboid, and the lowest level will be the base cuboid. Here we have 8 group bys or 8 cuboids has to be available, and we need to define the cube by using this data mining query language. Okay, first we need to write the define cube sales of all the dimensions as item, city, and year colon sum of sales in dollars. Then you can write the compute cube operator. Then you can write the compute cube sales. Okay, the sales has to be contained the all the 3 dimensions. That means this compute cube operator has to aggregate the all the subsets of the dimensions. Here the dimensions are item, city, and year. It has to aggregate the all the subsets of all the dimensions. That will give us with the help of the compute cube operator. Then we'll see what is meant by materialization. Materialization means pre-computation of data cubes. Pre-computation of data cube, we can call it as a materialization. Here we have 3 choices has to be available. One is no materialization, full materialization, partial materialization. Okay, within this no materialization, do not pre-compute any of the non-base cuboids. Do not pre-compute any of the non-base cuboids. Okay, that means let us go for this cube. This will be only the base cuboid. That means city, item, and year will be the base cuboid. The remaining all will be the non-base cuboids. Here we need to compute only the base cuboid here. For computation of this base cuboid, obviously it will lead to computing expensive multi-dimensional aggregates on a fly. Okay, which can be extremely slow also. Why? Because directly we are moving into lowest level without computing the subsets of the cuboids here. Directly we are computing the base cuboid. Okay, because of this one, obviously it will give extremely slow computation. Then second method is a full materialization. Here pre-compute all the cuboids here. The resulting lattice of computed cuboids is referred as a full cube here. This choice typically requires huge amount of memory space. Here we are calculating all the aggregates of all the subsets of cuboids. Because of this one, obviously it will require a lot of amount of memory space. And the third one is a partial materialization. To selectively compute a proper subset of a whole set of possible cuboids. Here we need to select proper subsets of the possible cuboids. Alternatively, we may compute a subset of cube which contain only some user specific criteria. Okay, one thing is based on the user criteria, we need to select some proper subsets of cuboids. And one more is we need to select the proper subset for cuboids based on the whole possible set of cuboids. Okay, for this purpose, we need to follow some criteria as one is first we need to identify the subset of cuboids to materialize. First, we need to identify the subset of cuboids, then exploit the materialized cuboids during query processing. You can exploit all the materialized cuboids during query processing. And third one is efficiently use these materialized cuboids during the load and refresh operations. Okay, we need to follow all the things when we go for applying the partial materialization. Why? Because here we are not computing all the subsets of cuboids. We are computing only few subsets of cuboids based on the user criteria or some possible cuboids we are computing here. Because of this one, we need to follow all the criterias. Identification of subsets and apply the materialized cuboid during query processing and use the materialized cuboids in load and refresh operations. Is all related to the materialization. Then we'll see the second method as the indexing OLAP. For efficient accessing of the data warehouse system, obviously it will support indexing also. Okay, here we have a indexing operations as bitmap indexing and join indexing. First we will see bitmap indexing. Within this bitmap indexing, it is an alternative representation of a base table. Okay, we have a base table has to be available, and the bitmap indexing will use the alternate representation of this one. Okay, it allows a quick searching in a data cube. If the bitmap indexing for a given attribute, there is a distinct bitmap vector has to be available. BV is a bitmap vector and V is the domain of the attribute here. If the domain of a given attribute consists of n values, then all the n bits are needed to each entry in the bitmap index. We will see an example here. First we can go for a base table. It contains all the IDs R1 to R8 and item and city dimensions has to be available. Item contains some of the items here and city also contains some cities has to be available. Here H will indicate the home entertainment, C is a computer and P is a phone and S is a security here. And under cities V will indicate a Vancouver, T is a Toronto. Okay, these two cities has to be available and 4 items has to be available. First we can write the bitmap index table for the item. Okay, and here for all the n values of this attribute as an item, we need to write all the indexes. Okay, how many items has to be available here? Here we have 4 items are there, H, C, P, S. Then for all the indexes we can write the bitmap index table. Okay, and related to this index 1, we have an item as a H is available. Okay, just you can keep the 1 here and remaining items will be 0. In the same way for R2, C is there and under C you can keep the 1 and remaining will be the zeros. And for R3, P is there, under P you can keep the 1 and remaining will be 0. Like that you can fill all the index table. In the same way you can create the city bitmap index table also. What are the items are there here? We have 2 cities are there, that means 2 values are there, V and T, Vancouver and Toronto. And for R1 we have Vancouver is there and you can write 1 and for Toronto it will be 0. Like that for R1 to R4 we have V is there, you can put 1 and for T it will be 0. And vice versa for R5 to R8 under T you keep 1 and for V it will be 0. Like this it will create the bitmaps index table. Then the join indexing. The join indexing registers the joinable rows of 2 relations from a relational database. Okay, I think you already know how to join a data tables within the database management system. Okay, for example, if you have 2 relations as R and S, R contains ID, A as attribute and S contains B as attribute and S ID has to be available. Joining of attributes as A and B, then join index record contains a pair of both the IDs as RID and SID, where RID and SID are record identifiers from the R and S relationships respectively, right? Hence, the join index records can identify joinable tuples. Join indexing is especially useful for maintaining the relationship between a foreign key and its matching primary keys from the joinable relation. But when we go for using in a data warehouse system, join indexing is useful for cross-table search because of the star schema model of data warehouse. Data warehouse has to follow the schema as a star schema, or it may follow Snowflake and factor constellation also. When a warehouse has to follow star schema, the join indexing has to be useful. Join indexing has to maintain the relationship between the attribute values of dimension and its corresponding rows in a fact table also. Now we'll see how to join this one. Okay, for example, we have a one table as location sales table has to be available. It contains the locations and the key value, and a join index table for item table has to be available, and it contains the item and sales key also. Based on these keys, we can join the both the tables, location, item, and based on the key, the values has to be joined here. Okay, let us observe this diagram. Okay, here based on these keys, okay, T70, T57 and Sony TV and Main Street has to be as a location. Okay, and for in the same way we have for Main Street, and we have one more ID as a T8084, and the item number is not available here. Okay, based on these keys, we need to join all the location values and the item values. Whenever the key has to be matched for both the location and item, we can join this one. Okay, that is about the join index table. And next method is the efficient processing of OLAP queries. The purpose of materialization and OLAP indexing structure is speed up a query processing in a data cubes, right? There are steps used for efficient query processing. First step is a determine which operation should be performed on available data. Determine which operation should be performed on a available data cubes. This will involve the transforming any selection, projection, roll-up operation, drill-down operation specified in the query into corresponding SQL or OLAP operations. For example, the slicing and dicing on a data cube may correspond to selection of projection operations on a materialized cuboid, right? And the second step is a determine to which materialized cuboids the relevant operation should be applied. This involves identifying all of the materialized cuboids that may potentially be used to answer the queries. Queries like pruning of the above set using knowledge of the dominance relationships among the cuboids, estimating the cost of using the remaining materialized cuboids, and selecting the cuboid with the least cost. Okay, these are the things has to be there to determine which materialized cuboids are relevant for the operations. Okay, within this efficient processing of OLAP queries, first we need to determine which operation should be performed on available data cube, and determine to which materialized cuboids are relevant for the operations. Okay, and let us go for this example as a within this OLAP processing. Already we have a cube has to be there. It contains item, city and year has to be available, and suppose that the query to be processed on brand and provenance state with the selection constant year is equal to 2004. Also suppose that there are 4 materialized cuboids has to be available here. Cuboid 1, cuboid 2, cuboid 3 and cuboid 4 has to be available. Above all the 4 cuboids, fine granularity data cannot be generated from a coherence granularity data. Therefore, the cuboid 2 cannot be used because of the country is a more general concept than the provenance state. The cuboid 1, 3 and 4 can be used to process the query because they have the same set or a superset of the dimensions in a query. And secondly, the selection clause in the query can be imply the selection in a cuboid. And the third is the abstraction level of an item and the location dimensions in these cuboids are at a finer level than the brand and provenance state respectively. Okay, this is about the efficient processing of a query. Thank you.